Yo, people, what's good? Welcome back to the Soccer PM podcast from the trenches. You requested it. We are here. Your boy Jords, aka Bandit, aka Durag Diaries. We are joined with your favorites, the Arsenal duo. You can't separate them nowadays. Man like D, man like Hooks, as well as Dean celebrating his league title win this week. Confirmed. Last week he said that it wasn't fully done. Now it is done. Look, I think it's only right. We start off before we say anything else. Round of applause. Round of applause. Round of applause. No. Do the round of applause. Do the round of applause.
Why is Dean clapping?
Because he wants
myself.
You've got to be humble in defeat. You got to be humble in defeat. Yeah. And D, you were the guy that was battling for it. You were the guy that was pushing hard for Arsenal. Yeah, that's what we need to say. You were the guy, pushing hard for Arsenal, saying that they're going to get the job done, and they didn't. And yeah, look, people, as you can see at the bottom of the scroller, but if you're listening on the podcast, make sure you subscribe to everyone's channel. This is on Durag Diaries for myself, Fam Zone TV for D and Dean, and Half-Time Hooks for the boy Hooks. But let's just start there. What we lightly touched on. The Premier League is all but now confirmed for Liverpool. Mathematically impossible for Arsenal to come back. Dean, how does it feel?
It feels absolutely amazing. I didn't think it would feel this brilliant because for the last 6 weeks, every week we've won the league. I've heard it all. We've won the league. It's done. But to actually do it, bruv, it was brilliant. I ain't gonna lie to no one. I'm not letting no one downplay nothing, not hearing nothing. That's what Liverpool fans have got to do. Just block out all the noise, block out all the crap everyone's talking, and you know what? We are England. See, we are England. We are the champions of England, innit? We are your champions. That's what I say. We're your champions. That's who we are. Not my champions, we're your champions. So yeah, man, it feels great, bro. Feels absolutely amazing.
And to our, first place losers, how does it feel over them sides? Because I know both of you guys were people that subscribe to it's not done till it's actually done. You guys said that until it's mathematically impossible, you always think that there's a chance. And I know last week both of you sort of alluded to the fact that you think it's over because it was one game before. How does it feel now it's actually sunk in? Premier League went to Liverpool. We'll go with Hook's gone.
Do you want my honest answer? Like,
we're here to have honest conversations. That's what Soccer PM podcast is.
All right, I'll be so real. Yeah, I woke up this morning. Yeah, I couldn't give two shits. Honestly, I don't care. I thought I would care more. I actually don't care. Like, it feels really anticlimactic. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like everybody gassed up the movie to me. I went to the cinema, I bought the popcorn and the drink, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, raw, this is a 2 out of 10. It feels so dead. Like, it doesn't even feel like they're really celebrating it. It doesn't even feel like anybody's celebrating it. It just feels like, yeah, Liverpool just won something. Okay, cool. Just onto the transfer window now. Like, it's literally what it feels like. It's like it didn't move mountains. It didn't shake up anything. It just, I don't know. It feels like they won the Carabao Cup. I'm pretty sure there was more noise about Newcastle winning the Carabao Cup than Liverpool winning the Prem. I'll be real. Maybe it's my timeline. Maybe I need to shout Elon, and let him know about it. But I've seen more of Liverpool talking about Arsenal than them actually talking about winning their second Premier League. So, I mean,
just to confirm though, Hooks. Yeah, is it? I know you said it was their second Premier League, but is it their second league title or is it their 20th league title? because obviously there was a conversation that was had on the trenches, you know, Friday 10 p.m. Make sure you're there, fams on TV. That Liverpool have only won 2 titles because everything prior to the, you know, Hooks. Why don't you briefly explain, answer the question, and then briefly explain your reasoning behind it?
So basically, I deal with facts. I don't deal with feelings in it. So Liverpool secured their 2nd Premier League title, which is their 20th top flight English title. Yeah, but there's a distinction. Do you know what I mean? Because they haven't won 20 Premier Leagues. We've established that. They haven't won 20 Premier Leagues. They've won 2. They're catching up. And I'll be honest, you know, with this Premier League win, they've now just surpassed Blackburn and Leicester. So big up. Do you know what I mean? Big up for being able to do that, you know, in the air. But it is what it is, man. Them man won. They won the Premier League. And I guess as an Arsenal fan, I'm just happy that they did it. Because of who my manager is. Like, if they fumbled that against Tottenham, then my manager will be like, oh, I still think we can win. So let me play my strongest 11. And then it would just kind of ruin any chances that we have of having a fully fit squad for the Premier League, for the Champions League. So, big up Dean, man. You deserve it, man. You played the best, the most consistent throughout a 34-game period. You deserve your 2nd Premier League, man. So I hope you've been enjoying it, personally. I mean,
and what are you saying?
I've got so much to say about Gandhi. I've got so much to say.
Let's get D coming because
go on, Dean. So you say
no. I want to hear you.
No, go on. No, I've got so much to say to the Hooks, but go on. I've got time.
Yeah, go on. I'm listening.
No, I've got time.
You first. Why don't you say what you want to say?
I'm just listening to the conversation because we had this conversation last week. It's a big debate online that we had, and I put out the little clips and stuff that people are saying. But I mean, it just depends on how you see it. Like, how many Premier Leagues or titles that have Arsenal got?
You got 13 titles, 3 Premier Leagues.
3 Premier Leagues, 10 13 top flight English leagues, 10 first division titles.
And does it? And what I'll say is, does it matter? Does it make a difference?
In what sense?
In regards to whether you've won the title or not.
Oh no, I don't know. Like I said, I'm dealing with facts, not feelings. I was just stating a fact that they won their 2nd Premier League.
And we've got 3, yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out what difference it makes, really, because that's where I'm coming with it. Like, because would you rather then have 3 Premier League titles, or would you rather have 20 top flight titles?
I'd rather have 20 top flight titles.
Okay, yeah, that's the answer, then, isn't it? That's the answer, then, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I'd have more.
You know, I like that Hooks is coming with sensible. You know, he's actually coming with, you know, like you said, are we doing the proper football talk today, or are we doing the YouTube thing? He's doing proper football. The other day,
no SB,
not what was coming out of Hooks' mouth.
But no one asked those questions. Obviously, I was listening for the whole conversation. I just listened for the conversation, but they're probably the questions that you have to ask because it will kind of end the whole debate. You know what I'm saying?
When you're in it and there's 10 Arsenal fans chatting, you think, you know what? So later on, brother, I had bare stuff to say when it is all done. I thought, why didn't I just tell them? You know, some of the things I could just ended it off with. Done to dance.
Yeah.
I know you asked you think, because you're in it, you forget certain things. When I'm finished, I'm thinking, I want to let's go live again. Let's get back to the trenches. Let's go back again. That's what I want to do. But go on now. I'll go on. Carry on.
Yeah, no. That's just how I see it. It's not, regardless of whether, because obviously, if we're talking about dealing with facts and figures, they are the facts. Liverpool only have 2 Premier League titles. Arsenal have 3. But which one would you rather have? Would you rather have 17 top flight titles and no Premier Leagues, or would you rather have 3 Premier Leagues and no top flight? You know what I'm saying? You want the most wins that you can get in it. So that's how I see it. Like, it doesn't really make much difference overall It matters to the debates online, but it don't really matter in general. Like SB's point wasn't really a point. That's like a YouTube point, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not really doesn't really make. You have to ask people what would they rather have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I suppose on that note, then, just quickly, whilst we're staying on this topic, it's a good question. Whose Premier League legacy is better? As in, who's had a better time in the Premier League, Arsenal or Liverpool? Because if you actually look at the trophies, no, we're not just talking about Premier League football. It's not just domestically. I'm talking about the time, the last 35 years. It could be European trophies as well. We're just talking about the time as a club during the Premier League era.
And that's not Premier League legacy. You have to call it.
No, but I'm talking about Premier League era legacy, not the Premier League title legacy.
It's Liverpool.
Yeah,
it's Liverpool. It's Liverpool. They've got 2 Champions League. They got how many Champions League they got in that time? 2.
We've got 2 in there.
They got 2 Champions Leagues in that time.
They got 3 FA Cups,
Club World Cup,
5 League Cups, Club World Cup, UEFA Cup. And then obviously
it goes without saying.
It's easy. I mean, what we've got is the Invincibles, right? I guess that's our argument.
3 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups. That's it.
And an Invincible season.
No, according to Catch, it doesn't matter. The Invincibles no more. So.
Yeah, but the Invincibles is what we've got, isn't it? I'm saying that's what we've got.
Hook said it like he had another argument to make. Hooks, was you gonna say something else? Was you gonna say
let him do his research. I can see his face. I can see him going through everything.
He's trying to confirm something in his head or.
No, man. Like for me, it's like if we're talking Prem era, then we can't talk about like what man did abroad, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Prem era isn't Prem legacy.
You're talking about like okay, then you gotta say
since 1992. Since 1992.
That's what you because the moment that you put Prem in there,
era,
you start looking at the Prem in it. Do you know what I mean? And like I don't know, like I personally feel like Arsenal have had a greater impact on the Premier League than Liverpool. Like, I'm sorry,
you definitely have the Premier League. You have.
I for one am not forgetting the fact that it took them 30 years to win a Prem, bro. Like, I'm not forgetting. I will.
How are we taking us 30 years to win a Prem? 30 years.
It was like
to
30
win a
years,
Prem.
99 to what? 2021? Was it 21? 2021, 21, 22, 29 years, 30 years.
2020.
30 odd years, something like that. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's like, are we just gonna ignore that? Like, if we want to do like, okay, who's been better since like, I don't know, 2016 to 2025, then yeah, cool, Liverpool. But I mean, if we're talking about the whole Prem era, I don't know. I think Arsenal have made greater impact. It's only when you, especially on English football, it's only when you start doing things like flying abroad to like Paris and all them places, or flying abroad to Brazil, Club World Cup, all them things there. Cool. But if we just sit down in England and talk about in England, but
we've had a greater impact because we've changed the game in terms. So Wenger changed the game in terms of football. Then
that's just a buzzword because you said Wenger had a greater impact.
No. But I mean,
it's Wenger.
No, but I mean, like, it wasn't just Wenger. I mean, like, there's that icons like Ian Wright and Henry. That Henry's probably the best Prem player of all time. So that's a statue and a legacy that you've left behind. Wenger, you've left behind, but it depends on what you're classing as. Who's had a bigger legacy, who's won more, and who's got a bigger legacy is obviously 2 different things.
David Dean was actually the guy that was leading the breaking away from First Division into the Premier League. He was one of, if not the key figure in making it happen. So, like, we might not even be sitting here celebrating you lifting your 2nd Premier League if it wasn't for David Dean.
You sound so salty, bro. What's wrong with you? What's happened? You sound
learned one
crazy.
fact over the weekend and he hasn't stopped mentioning it. I hear it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Your tone is crazy, Hooks. I can't believe I ain't said nothing wrong.
What do you
When you're,
I hear it. Liverpool
I'm not saying
fans.
nothing. I'm not saying nothing.
Liverpool fans want you to talk in a certain way, otherwise.
No, the way you went, David Dean, like the way you emphasizing things, I thought, raw.
No,
I ain't said nothing wrong.
It's fine, Dean. Because on that note, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it because Arsenal always feel like they've got the bigger impact. This season, they had the chance to make a bigger impact than Liverpool. Make their break onto the into the European scene, lift that European title, Champions League. They played their semi-final against PSG at the, the home of North London. That's what they called it. It's the Emirates. Their fake tifo that they had up, which was absolutely embarrassing, by the way, that flag that they put up in the stands. Yeah. Bigger fish to fry, Hooks. How did that go for you guys?
How did it go? It didn't go as well as what it probably should have. I feel like we really missed Partey quite a bit, but for a variety of reasons. Like, I didn't realize how discombobulated the whole team would be with Partey not being there. Because Arteta he changed it up a bit too much, man. Like, he had Rice no longer in the 8, which is where Rice has been doing all of his good work across this season. And then you didn't have Marino in the 9, which is where Marino's done all of his good work across the season. And I feel like that just mashed it up. It made it really difficult. Like, we couldn't control the midfield. Like,
I keep hearing people say that. People keep saying, like, he changed it up. Bruv, Rice, we bought Rice for 105 million when he was a 6. He is a 8 and a 6. Him moving from the 8 to the 6 doesn't change anything. That's his position. And then Marino playing in the 8 is his position. Because he's been playing well up front doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to play well in his actual position. We didn't change anything. We put everyone in their natural positions.
But that's not where they've been playing well in form. Like, they've been in form in these positions. Like, this is how the team.
You're saying to them move Lewis Skelly to the 6, and Lewis Skelly hasn't been playing in form in the 6. He's been playing in form at left back.
But Lewis Skelly, the way that he's built, the way that he plays, he's a lot closer to Partey. So, like, obviously there's that big experience gap and there is a quality gap that comes through experience. But you would have, if you did that, you could have even dashed Zinchenko there. There was options. You could have dashed Zinchenko left back. You could have dashed, Tierney left back. You could have moved Timber to left back and played Ben White right back. But just keeping Rice in the 8, which is where he is in form. It doesn't matter that we signed him to. Doesn't matter that when we signed him, he was a 6 because, by the way, he's played 8 all season. Like, literally all season, he's played 8. Like, that's what he's been playing all season.
But you're saying he made too many changes, but then you're saying he could have put Zinchenko in the 6 and Timber. That's still 2 changes, the same amount of changes.
No. But if you move, for example, if you move Skelly into the 6,
that's one change.
Only one change.
No, it's not. It's 2.
Oh, no. Only one change that would impact, because all you're doing, because if you play Zinchenko left back, Zinchenko he's going to invert and do all of the inverted stuff that Skelly does playing at left back. So, but because you've moved,
very disingenuous because you and D have been 2 people that have advocated for Skelly at left back more than anyone. Basically saying he's been one of the best left backs in the league, which I don't deny. So taking him out of that position against one of the better wingers, where he had a very good game, by the way. If you put Zinchenko up against the Doué, it would have been raps, bro. You needed Skelly in there for that 1v1 battle because he's been so good in them recently.
And you know what, George? It's easy to do the, what's it called? It's easy to do the hindsight thing, yeah. Because if he'd done that and it went wrong, because the thing is, sometimes you got to accept PSG were the better team, yeah. You might have done anything that night and it would have been the same thing. I hear it. You want to do something different because you lost. Yeah. If we done something different, you'd have said, "Oh, why didn't Mourinho play in the 8? Why didn't Rice play in the 6?" That's the thing. That's the thing when you're playing good teams. If you haven't got your main player Party there, you got to make the right. And the thing is, what he done, I thought was the right thing. You get me? I'm not a football guy, but I thought that makes sense. What he's done, what he done.
It is the right thing. Makes sense. You know why it's such the right thing? Yeah, is because what everyone else is advocating for is for there to be more changes in the team, but they don't realize it. So when you see what we had, Partey missing, every single player, he's only made one change in the team, and the one change he's made is Trossard in for Mourinho up front. That's the only change in the team.
No, it's not.
There's no other changes in the team apart from Trossard for Mourinho.
No,
everyone else is in their position.
No. The 6 is not Declan Rice's position. He's played the 8.
Talking about?
No, you can't do that, right, bro?
You're
not making no sense. He played 6 for 5-6
Rice when he
years before coming to Arsenal. You signed him as a 6. He might not play there in your team, but he was a 6 when you signed him.
We didn't sign him as a 6. You can go back.
No, you don't listen. You're not listening. I said you signed him in that he was playing in that position when you signed him. Regardless of whether he was signed to play 8 for Arsenal or not, he has the capabilities of performing in the 6 at a high level. He done in the Premier League for years.
But
can he not play 6 then? Declan Rice can't play 6 then? Is that what you're saying? He can't play 6 ever again.
In our system, he plays the 8. Our system dictates for there to be someone who, for sake of better word, good on the ball in deeper areas, like a Party, like a Zubomendi, who we're actually someone that can start building up play can receive it from the defenders and start building up from the back. That's not Declan Rice's game. Declan Rice's game is to drive with the ball. He powers with the ball, which is why he is better in the 8, which is why when he's been playing in the 8 all season, every single good performance you've seen from Declan Rice this season has been in the 8, because all season he's played in the 8. Then moving him to the 6, and then the person that goes into the 8 doesn't actually play anywhere similar to Declan Rice is crazy. To not
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
No, but what I don't get is
that doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense what you're saying, because these players are all playing in their natural positions. This is like saying when, because Heung-min Son is playing well on the right, now you move him to the left, he can't perform. It doesn't make sense. Declan Rice is a 6. He's playing well in the 8. Mikel Merino is an 8. No, let me finish. Mikel Merino is an 8 that's playing well up front. So when you move him now to his natural position and you move Declan Rice to his natural position, that's not the reason. That's not you. You're now saying he shouldn't have done that as a manager. That's all he should have done. You're now saying that he should have discombobulated the team more, because you're saying Mourinho should stay. That's what you're saying. You're saying he should move Lewis Skelly into the 6. So
that's not a change then. So by your logic, that's not a change, because Miles Lewis Skelly's natural position is midfield.
He hasn't played in the senior level. I mean, it doesn't even count. No. Hooks trying to compare.
Let me answer his question. I don't know what his question is. I can't hear his question. What's your question?
No, I'm saying it's not a question. It's a statement. By your logic about Declan Rice, his natural position being a 6, so it's not a change. Miles Lewis Skelly's natural position is in midfield.
What's your point?
So it's actually less changes to move. It's actually less changes to move Miles Lewis Skelly into midfield.
No, it's not, because the person coming in, you said, is Zinchenko. That makes it a problem change. If you take out Merino from the 9 and put him into his natural position and then play a natural forward guy in Trossard up front, that makes sense. You taking out Lewis Skelly and putting him in the 6 and playing Zinchenko. If Calafiori was fit, I can understand your logic. But you're saying put Zinchenko there.
Okay.
Hooks. What you're failing to realize as well is, I think what Arteta want to do, because when I look at this, by the way, just taking it back from this specific argument as well, I don't actually think Arteta coached a bad game. I thought Arteta actually coached a good game. I think Arsenal played well. I think in moments of the game, you guys took over the game. And what they done is they blitzed you for the first 20, 30 minutes, what I thought the game would be. They blitzed you. They had a few chances. didn't take. They only got that. Remember, I told you they don't finish wall hooks. That one chance they did score wasn't even a good. Like it was a good goal. Sorry, it wasn't like a finish he should have scored. It was a half chance. He banged it, went in. And then once they got that, it was a case of you guys were always going to take over the game. The problem is once you took over, is you've got the likes of Trossard in your front line. You've got Martinelli in your front line who aren't that great at finishing. But he wanted to use the core group of players. Trossard plays every week. Marino plays every week. What D is saying is correct. You use the players that are consistently playing. You don't go and get an outsider like Zinchenko, who, for one, let's have it right, he stopped playing because he's not good enough. He doesn't play in any games where it's top level for you, man. He plays against the shit teams because he's not good enough. So we have to be honest here. What Arteta done wasn't the wrong decisions. I actually think he made the right decisions. Arsenal were just very unfortunate not to score yesterday. On Tuesday, sorry. Don't we think that's like Dean? Do you think Arsenal were close to winning that game or should have won the game?
Bro, I think, you know what it is, yeah? We delved too far because you know what it is, yeah? Luis Enrique played a wonderful game. I told Dawes already. He's ain't the same PSG, bro. Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, and Doué are crazy. That's one thing you got to know. That midfield they had there can match anyone's midfield. And I've give Arsenal their props about the midfield all season. Yeah, that midfield was always going to struggle with that party against PSV's midfield. That midfield of PSV is a well-oiled clockwork. How they play is brilliant, and like you need all your players on top form to overcome that midfield, bro. So it was never going to be easy. Like sometimes you got to look at it and think, you know what, the better team won. Like you could say you could have done this, you could say you could have done that, but they played the game no one to play, and they played it well. And at the end, they could have scored a couple more. I know Arsenal could have scored, but losing 1-0 ain't as crazy as you think. You get me? It's not as crazy as you think, yeah, because at the end, it could have been more. So you got to look at it. You got to take some positives. I know it's hard to take because you lost, whatever. But PSG, like for me, like I said when we lost to them, I said that's the best team we played this season. People laughed at me because I said that's the best team we have played this season. This PSG head, not the PSG from the group stages. This PSG with Dembele fit and Kvaratskhelia in it, bro. It is just so well balanced. So well balanced, bro. And you've got Luis Enrique that's doing wonders, bro. Like the better team won. Like I'm not blaming Arteta for that, bro. End of the day, you've never won the Champions League, so it's not like you are mad favourites, bro. Just because you beat what's it called, Real Madrid, don't make you mad favourites. This PSG team will beat Real Madrid. You get me? So, bro, you're playing against a team that is high. I expect them to go on and win. That's what I said. Once they beat us, I said there's no team that can beat this team. This team's going to go on and win it. But, bro, like, you still can do it. Because we went over there and won 1-0, and it was a hard game. That game we won, I still think was one of the hardest games we played. All they done was not score. Our goalkeeper was man of the match. So, bro, it's not. Don't downplay PSG. Don't just think it's all in your hands and Arteta, bro. PSG played a great game, bro.
Yeah, so. I agree with you. I agree with that. I feel like we got outplayed for large periods of that game, and we created a couple of good chances, but they also had equally just as good chances. That's just the fact. We had the debatable penalty. I don't think it was a penalty, but it could easily be given. There are chances that on a normal day we could have that game could have been 1-0 and we would have scraped through, or it could have been 3-0 then. It could have been one of those games. So I think it's a bit tricky and it's a bit disingenuous to say that Arteta shouldn't have played those players in those positions, because all he could do, he had to. Party being out means you've got to change something. That's what it means. Something has to be changed. You can't say, "Oh, we made too many changes." Something has to be changed. There's going to be a change because Party is missing. Same way, if Kivior messes up, we're going to be saying, "Oh, we should have played Ben White centre back." Do you understand? Something. There has to be a change when key players are missing, and what he done, I think, made total sense to me. It made total sense because Trossard. Don't forget, Trossard had a chance to score. If he scores that, it makes sense now all of a sudden. If he scores that chance that he gets, it's what a clever move it was to play Trossard up front. It goes from.
On that note, D, do you think go. Let's look ahead then. Parc de France next Wednesday. Away leg. Do you go with the same lineup or do you make any changes to that lineup? And are you confident going into that game that you guys can get the job done?
Yeah, I'm confident. Partey comes back into the team obviously immediately, so it's not the same lineup. It's a completely different lineup. Marino goes back up top. Partey comes into the team, so it's not the same lineup. But I'm very confident because as much as PSG are a good footballing team, they remind me of Arsenal in the Jack Wilshere years and the Haleb years, where they play good football, but they're very weak. Like, I don't rate this PSG team like everyone else does. They're a good football inside, and they're. But if you watch the game and you realize the game in the second half, I'm thinking we're gonna score 1, maybe 2 goals there. That's what I was thinking all through the game. I did not feel worried about them in the second half. Once we started figuring out the game and the players started knowing who can come and get the ball from Raya and where people are going to be, because it took us 20 minutes to figure that out. And by then, the game could have been over. It could have been 3-0 by then. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But they figured it out. But I'm thinking that we can go over there and definitely, if there's a team that you can beat, it's going to be them. They're a good team. They're a good footballing team, but they're lacking killer instinct. They're lacking strength. They're lacking they're a young team still like us. So to me, I just see us as very, very similar teams. I see Arsenal and PSG as exactly the same team almost. Kind of weak, like club known as bottle jobs. Like haven't proven anything just yet in this team. That's just how I see it. They're a weak team. If PSG played any other team, I don't think PSG are beating any other team. They might do, but when they played Liverpool, I thought Liverpool were going to get through. Like, if they're playing Real Madrid, I think Real Madrid are going to win. If they're playing Inter, I think Inter are going to win. If they're playing Barcelona, I think Barcelona are going to win. Whether PSG win or not, you have to disprove these myths, which is what they're doing right now. But I think I'm not looking at PSG like I'm afraid of them one little bit. I'm more afraid of the crowd than I am.
It was the same thing when we played them at home. Yeah, we was playing. I thought first 20 minutes, I thought we was going to just bang them over. We was all over them, and then they scored a goal. And then next minute, the game's just drifting. You're thinking, hold on, why haven't we scored? This is what they do. The game, next minute, it's 70th minute. Bro, it's mad. This is what happens against PSG, bro. They can, that you think they're in control, they are just drifting in the game. They're winning, they're in control. They're giving you certain amount of possession, bro. How they go on against us when we was at home to them, bro? I thought we was going to win. And I thought we was going to win easy. When they scored the early goal, I thought, yeah, minor. We've been all over them. We're going to get back. Next minute, now it's the 90th minute. And then it's
that was in your ground. At their
our ground, bro.
They were all over you at their ground, and
they murdered us. They murdered us at their ground.
That's a typical PSG thing to be all over, and a typical Arsenal thing as well to be all over the team and still come away with a loss.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You got to go to their pitch now, yeah. And they're going to play like they're at home. They're not going to just sit back and think. So now they've got a 1-0 lead and they're going to be dominant at home. So it's going to be hard unless you smash and grab like we did, bro. Because I can't see you not doing a smash and grab. You're going to try to go on.
It's like what D said there, though. PSG are known for having a weak underbelly. PSG is the one team where you get that one goal and like the whole game's turned and they're like backing up in their goal. They're like up against the ropes and they're just expecting you to score now. That's how they play. Like even in the Aston Villa game, people saw like they broke a little bit. You can almost see them completely breaking, but they just held on and it's like, they got through this one. This Arsenal game, if they let them, like the roles are reversed in the fact that similar to when we thought if Arsenal scored, if Real Madrid scored against Arsenal in Bernabeu, everyone thought the tide is going to turn. It's done. Early goal. I think if Arsenal score earlier at the Parc des Princes, tide turns.
Of course. If they score first, they have to. I think it's got to be an early goal because, like I said, man, the game will just drift. We'll just go into a lull where they just pass the ball around the midfield. That's what happens. We don't get an early goal. That's what happened to us, bro. We didn't get a goal at Anfield, and the game just went. Next thing you know, it's just the 90th minute, and next thing you know, it's penalty, bro. You're thinking, what the hell has happened there? That will happen, bro.
Do you know what? I think that it's going to be an entirely different dynamic in the second leg because Partey coming back into the 6 allows Declan Rice to go back into the 8, which means he will be pressing them a lot higher up the pitch. Like Mourinho going back into the 9 as well means there's a combination of their midfield being pressed by Mourinho and by Rice. Like Neves and Vitinha are not going to have the time on the ball that they had in the first leg just because of that dynamic. So I think it's an entirely different game. Mourinho going back up top. Well, this is me assuming he goes back up top, but Saka and Martinelli both now have a link man. There's a link man there that's looking to facilitate in the 9. That's something that we didn't have in the first leg. Like we're gonna have totally different dynamics in that game. So I think we win the midfield battle at their ground just because of personnel. And I think this game is gonna be arguably, I think it'll be a lot more comfortable for Arsenal than the first leg. The first leg, it just seemed like there was too much going on. Like there was too much disarray. We couldn't really press them the way that we wanted to, and they just had so much time, free time on the ball. So yeah, I think the second leg, it's not gonna be like a 5-0 or anything like that. But I think Arsenal will comfortably win that game.
Comfortably, yeah.
That's big words. Comfortably.
Yeah, I'm predicting 2-0. I don't mean comfortable in terms of scoreline. I mean comfortable in terms of performance.
I know what you mean. Typical, Hooks cuts promos like Dana White. I'm telling you, like he's always out there gassing it up, telling you that you're gonna see the best fight of the week, best fight of the year.
Gas.
Comfortable is just a bit.
No. It's a little bit over the top, but
comfy's crazy.
What? Two teams that definitely weren't comfortable. I don't know if people saw the game yesterday. Might have been one of the best Champions League games I've seen in a long time.
Long time. What a game!
Inter Milan, Barcelona, 3-3 thriller. For one, just take away the individual performances of like the likes of Yamal. The goals, the actual quality of the goals that was scored on display yesterday. So the overhead kick, there was a back heel. The Thuram's goal was class, especially to do that in the first 30 seconds of the game. Like the composure to do that. And then Yamal scored that, obviously that screamer, and then Rafinha as well. What did I suppose? Let me come to you, D, first, because either of these teams are your potential opponents in the final. What did you think of the game from a non-biased perspective? And then putting your Arsenal hat on, which team was you more fearful of? Which team do you not want in the final?
Obviously, it was an entertaining game. It was a brilliant game to watch. That's what it was about. It was a real footballing, like old school game. Like it had everything in it. But in terms of the actual game, I'm not worried about either team. Like both of those teams suit the way Inter played. Inter, you got to remember, Inter were away from home, so for them to come away with a 3-3 draw, that suits them. I know they were 2-0 up and stuff like that, but it does suit them still. But the way Barcelona play, I'm not worried about either of those teams. Like when we played Inter at the beginning of the season, I wasn't worried about them then. I know we lost, but I thought we was all over them. It was down to us. We lost by a silly Mourinho penalty that the ref gave. It wasn't even a penalty. And then Barcelona are all out action. So I've got enough faith in Skelly and Timber to say that we're going to get a whole heap of chances. So I'm not worried about either team. I'm more worried about I was more worried about teams like Atletico Madrid. Teams like Liverpool.
Inter Milan play very similar though to them. I know obviously yesterday they didn't display that. When you talk about defensive solidarity, just getting low deep block, that is Inter Milan.
But the only thing about it is they play similar, but we've played Inter Milan already this season, so I've got a kind of an idea of how they play, and I wasn't that impressed with them. Everyone was talking about Simeone and Inzaghi before the game, and I watched, and I felt like we were completely, and we were away from home. We were all over them.
You do know they rotated that game, right?
Yeah, they rotated as well, but they've got players like Mkhitaryan in their team, and well, I'm not Inter Milan. To me, I don't fear Inter Milan. I'm more worried about Atletico Madrid and Liverpool. I'm more worried about Aston Villa. I didn't want to play Villa because Villa have got our number. I'm not worried about Barcelona. Barcelona play all out attack. It will just be an end-to-end game. Any roll of the dice, whoever wins, wins. I'm not worried about those games. I'm more worried about teams that I feel like their strengths match our weaknesses, and that's teams like Liverpool, teams like Villa, teams like Atletico Madrid. They were the problems. Teams like of Barcelona, I'm not really too worried about. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Dean,
if they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask you because we had a conversation a few weeks ago, maybe even a month or two ago now, where we spoke about wingers in world football. And there was one guy I was very adamant. I told you guys, like, whether you guys believe me or not, at 17 years old, he's the best winger in world football. Like, people I'm adamant. I've been saying it, and I'm gonna hold it, double down on it. Watching that game yesterday, do you understand, whether you agree or not? Do you understand why I put Yamal on such a pedestal above the likes of Salah and Saka?
Bro, I know he's a good player, bro, but when Salah was doing all this stuff 8 years ago, yeah, no one was telling me that he's the best player in the world. Salah was cutting in every week, scoring the same sort of goal, mashing up the fullback, bending in the corner. Every week he was doing that, yeah. No one said Salah's better than Messi. No one said that. So this guy's done it a couple times this season. And now you want to say he's the best winger, bruv? Come on, man. He's got to put more. Bruv, we know he's got potential. He's not the fool. Because, bruv, I've seen him make bare mistakes during the game. Yeah, don't get wrong. He does brilliant stuff. He's allowed to do what he wants. He's given the freedom to do what he wants. Yeah, but so many times I'm watching him, he gives the ball away in silly positions. He does this. He does that. Obviously, he's allowed to. He's been given that role to be creative. Yeah, but I can't just start saying he's the best player in the world, bruv. Leave it. He's a brilliant player. I know he is, bro. I know he's a brilliant player. But I can't just, bro. We weren't doing this when Salah was doing it, bro. Like, I'm not saying Salah had a higher ceiling than this guy, but I'm just saying when Salah was doing this in the Premiership, the first season he got there, he was doing it every week, bro, against all the fullbacks, cutting in, going past fullback, bending into the other corner. Every week, no one could do nothing back. No one says Salah's the best player in the world, bro. No one. You get me? But now, because this guy's 17, he's at Barcelona. It looks pretty. He's got little blonde wig hair, and now everyone's going mad, bruv. But bruv, he's a great player. But I'm not saying he's the best winger in the world. No, I'm not.
But I think that's because when Salah started off at Liverpool, like, just the overall quality of wingers at the time was much higher. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas now, Yamal's sort of thriving when there's not really too many great wingers, at least not in comparison to back then. And I don't know, man. I think it's a bit wild to say that no one was saying Salah was better than Messi because it's Messi, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, that comparison to me is
focus.
No, I'm just saying.
Wait, guys, concentrate what we're actually talking about. If people have gone over on the Salah bit, Yamal. I want to hear Yamal. Forget Salah. Focus. Yamal yesterday.
Yeah. They're comparing Yamal to Messi, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're saying no 17-year-old has been this good. They're saying, but I think Messi was different to him.
At 17, let me just tell you, at 17, Messi only had 9 appearances for Barcelona, 1 goal. Ronaldo only had 19 appearances with 5 goals. He's got 100 appearances for Barcelona and 22 goals.
When Messi came into the team, he had to displace Ronaldinho, Deco, Eto'o. It was a different team. He had to get rid of team. And he started when at 17, he's playing for Real Madrid at 17 with those players is different to coming into the team and you're playing with players like bro, if you're
former Leeds player.
Let me
Ferran Torres.
You're right. No, you're right. But let me phrase it this way though. At 17, for one, Messi came in the team at like 19 to 20.
No,
I'm not saying he did. He was like 19, 20 when he came. When he came in properly and took over, he was like 18, 19. He wasn't the same age as your
No, his debut was younger than that.
His debut was younger. His debut was probably at the same age.
He scored in his debut, didn't he?
Yeah. But he wasn't playing often until like the year after.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he had
There's no doubt about it. He had better players around him.
He was 16 at his debut.
But he didn't play but that's the point. He played and then didn't play for a while and then he had an actual young career.
Because they had players there already. This Barcelona team ain't got players. They ain't got players.
Like Ferran Torres up front. Ferran Torres.
A mess.
Danny Olmo. This is the player that Yamal's playing with. You're not playing with Ronaldinho.
No, you're making a good point, but I don't think you guys are actually taking in what I'm saying though. The way I'm looking at it is, yes, he had better players then, so it was harder to break into the team. Cool. Barcelona's not a good. We know the past couple of years prior to Yamal coming into the team, Barcelona have been going through their financial struggles. They've had to sell play. They sold Messi. They sold all these players. They had no one. They were in the depths of the gutter, bro. Playing Europa League football for the first time in their history. Playing Europa League football. He comes at 16. Doesn't only put Barcelona on his back. He puts his country on his back. Spain leads them to the Euro title. He then comes back.
I think that's
it's
I don't think so, man. Was he even the best player for Spain at the Euros?
Yes, he was. He was.
I think Nico
Williams at the Euros.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Nico Williams, man.
Nico
Williams was the guy.
Nico Williams. That was people. It was them.
Nico Williams, bro. It was them two with Nico.
You guys, you know, it's this. I'm here, man, and trying to do disingenuous thing because
listen, Yamal done his thing. We no one ain't discrediting him here, but you know what is? Shall I tell you what is? If no one made this big hype about him, obviously make a bit of noise. But how people are going on is making me think, bro, allow it. Yeah, we could have come up with our own conclusion. I would have said, you know what?
You know why? Bro, he's averaging one goal, a goal or an assist every 2 games at 17. He's played 100 games. It's not like he's just doing.
What's his age got to do with it? What's his age got to do with it? You said he's the best. You said he's the best player in the world now.
Nothing. That's the best winger. Best winger.
Yeah, he's the best winger in the world now. So his age got nothing to do with it. But has he been better?
No, the age does. The age makes it even more impressive. That's the point.
Has he been better than Rafinha?
Yeah, I'd say, but Rafinha will get the.
Has he been better than Dembele? Has he been better than Dembele this season?
Winger, as a winger,
has he been better than Salah this year?
I think that Yamal's a better player than Salah. I'll tell you that.
No, yeah, he might be a better player. Has he been better than Salah though? He might be a better player.
Actually, in fact, you say that when Yamal wins the league and then wins the Champions League, who's had a better season? Treble. Come on, man.
Yeah, when it's all when Salah already won the league.
You do know he just bad up Real Madrid for the Copa del Rey. You know he just bad up the guy, and then he told Real Madrid.
Arsenal just bad up Real Madrid, bro. What are we doing? Everyone.
You can't chat to me until you make that. He's not fearful of them, bro.
Arsenal beat Real Madrid. We beat Real Madrid. Everyone's beat Real Madrid, bro. Don't go at Real Madrid still, bro. These are bums. Real Madrid are bums, bro. Let's not do that. Come on, Real Madrid was here. Aston Villa would be taking care of them. Tottenham might even get a result against Real Madrid right now, bro. You get me? Let's not go like this Real Madrid something.
We're going mad. We're definitely going mad. But you know what? Because you mentioned the team, we'll stay on there for a second. Tottenham. Just really briefly.
Sorry.
And Postecoglou. Masterclass, a first leg victory for Tottenham. I know you guys don't know the other teams, so I don't expect to hear a breakdown. I just want very brief. Do you
play Man United?
No, Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Glimt. FC Bodo Glimt.
Where they're from?
Norwegian league. Do you guys think Tottenham are winning? Simple as. It doesn't need no explanation.
Yes, you have to. Who is Bodo Glimt? You have to win. Surely.
No, they won't.
Surely they can't lose.
I think
where are you playing?
I think both English teams go out at the semi-final stage.
No way. Hold on, where are you playing? Man
United got Bilbao.
Yeah, it's not the same Bilbao in the 90s, bro.
That's Nico Williams and them lot, bro. Then that's going to be hard for them.
That's a horrible, bro. That team's only Nico Williams, bro, and he's having a bad season, bro.
Sansei, man.
Who? Who did he say? Who did Hooks is their player?
He acts like he knows me. He acts like he really knows these guys.
He just said it.
Oh, he's scouting for Yokohama Tires FC again.
Like
I know it. That's what he's
really
doing.
Understands these guys.
He's one of their players, isn't it? Sansei, man.
Senesi, you're talking about.
Now, Sansei, man. SANCET.
Who is he? Who is he? That's what I need to know. Who is he?
Bro, he plays for Bilbao, isn't it? I've seen a lot.
In what position? I don't know where he is.
I think.
You know what? Why did you say his name?
You need to.
People tell me he's cold, innit? So
people tell you. Oh,
I never claimed that I know him.
Why you say his name for them? Why do you say his name like he knew what was going on?
Well, I see Arsenal were linked to him, innit? Arsenal been linked to him.
What, man? You thought you could say that and then no one would talk about it. You tried to say that. You had to
expose himself. Wait. First he said no. First he said the name. Then he said, I heard people said he's good. And then it said, he revealed the real reason. Arsenal are linked with him. So
No,
because
but this is
Arsenal
how I
linked
know
with
his
them, we
name.
heard that they was good. I hear it. It's
No, but this is
making
how I
sense.
know his name. Like
No,
I know his
it's fine.
name.
It's fine. He's good because Arsenal.
Oh,
are linked
am I
with him.
not allowed to? Oh,
No,
so
he's
I'm
good.
not allowed
He's
to name
good
ballers.
because
I hear
Arsenal are
it,
linked
man.
with him. He's a good
No,
player.
say no more. He's
I
dead,
hear
isn't it? He's dead. He's dead. He's dead.
No, bro. You're right.
No, he's
He's
dead.
good.
No.
Arsenal linked with him.
Hooks, no one's saying. Have you done any research on him? Have you watched a couple of videos and all that?
I'm not facing Bill, but I don't have to do the research on man. Innit? You know what I'm
Are
saying?
Tottenham winning though, Hooks?
Are you
And
winning?
are Bilbao winning?
I don't know, man. It's Tottenham, man. Wait, is the first leg at your ground or their ground?
Our ground.
See, I would like to think at your ground you would win, but you just never know with Tottenham. You never know. You should win it. I hear because I heard that they've got didn't they have 2 more players fall to injury as well?
Yeah, they got like 3 injuries to key players. First teamers, they're missing like 4 or 5.
Yeah, man. If you can't beat Bodo Glimt when 4 or 5 of their best players are out, then that's a whole new talking point going forward, bro. Because
But what's the difference if they got 4 or 5 players out? They must be all the same, the players.
Yeah, but it's Bodo Glimt.
When you get to that level, they must be the same. You gotta get someone from the reserves or whatever. You can be the same level as the first team. Bro, what we doing here? You should beat them regardless of what's going on. You're moving mad.
To be honest, yeah, this team beat Lazio. Lazio we're not gonna. You know what? Do you know why I'm not gonna hear
This
it?
ain't 90s Lazio, bro.
You know what, Dean? I want it.
It sounds good. It sounds good, bro. Dude, it sounds
No,
good.
but this is the same Liverpool. This is the same Liverpool that played Europa League, got smacked up 4-0 at home to Atlanta, by the way. So
hold on, when we talking about this season, the last season, what we talking about this season? Atlanta's a proper team. Atlanta's a proper team, bro.
Oh, they're a proper team now. I hear it.
90s team. That's a 90s team, bro.
Proper.
Lazio's a 90s team, bro. 90s. When I was young, Lazio was doing stuff. That's when what's his name was playing. What's his name? The Man City manager. What was his name again? I forgot his name. Mancini, bro. Them man there. I ain't heard about City since he was out front for them, bro. I heard nothing about that. You're mad.
All right. Well,
you're going crazy.
When David Platt went, didn't David Platt go Lazio?
Somewhere, I think was it Lazio he went to? Yeah, that's a madness, bro.
I think David Platt went
80s and 90s, bro. I can't believe.
Was not Inter Milan? Didn't he go into Milan?
David Platt went Lazio. Maybe I'm going mad.
There's something to it.
I think the man that might be going mad. They might be going mad. But
I can't believe you mentioned
Lazio. Bring it back to topics. Just before we head out,
it was Sampdoria. Sorry, Sampdoria. Yeah,
oh, yeah, Sampdoria.
One of them proper old school Serie A teams. Yeah, bringing it back to a topic that we spoke very, very briefly on last week. We ended the show on this, and I thought it was only right with a few updates that we come back to it and briefly touch it. Eni Eluko obviously made some comments last week regarding Ian Wright blocking opportunities into the women's game for commentary, and has since had huge backlash from her comments. Apparently, she has left her job working for ITV, I believe. And also, she's been left traumatized, apparently. Ian Wright did have some stuff to say, and he come out of a statement, sort of not really accepting her apology, giving a bit of pushback, but also doing what Ian Wright does best, and putting an arm around the shoulder around everyone at a hard time. What do you guys think of his comments? I'll come to you first, D, and comment, and also of the fallout of this whole situation.
I haven't seen the comments from Ian Wright. I don't know what his comments were, so I don't know the after effects. No idea. I know that I saw a headline that she's lost some positions or lost some roles or anything like that. But sometimes, to me, I feel like if you haven't got anything good to say, don't say anything at all. You know what I'm saying? That's a saying that my nan always said, my mum always says. So I feel like it's just a consequence of saying something that was a negative. Like, I don't think it was needed to be said. I don't think it was a burning, pressing issue that had to be addressed. Sometimes there's some things you have to say and you have to speak out for. I don't think this was one of them. So I feel like she turned it into more of a circus than anything else. And I think it was counterproductive. So I just think it's a consequence of saying something that doesn't need to be said. And also for big corporate brands, or let's imagine we were a brand, for example, that was hiring someone. Do you even trust what she's going to say next?
Mm-hmm.
where's she gonna go next with it? What else is she gonna bring up randomly? Because this felt like a random attack. It felt like a personal attack on Ian Wright more so than a pressing need and a pressing issue. So what else are you gonna say next? It's an untrustworthy situation, isn't it? So I don't really know.
She tried to go after Ian Wright, Uncle Ian. Like, he's such a clean-hearted guy. Like, you tried to do something. You tried to do something to boost yourself and yourself amongst the women, whatever it was, yeah, and it backfired. Like, out of all the people you're trying to go against, you try to go against Ian Wright. Ian Wright's got the cleanest, what's it called, health bill in here, and you're trying to go against him, like, because obviously if it went the way you wanted it to go, everyone been talking about you're a pioneer woman. You tried to do a thing, it didn't work, it backfired. I'm not feeling sorry for no one. That's my thing. I'm not feeling sorry for you, because if we went the other way and they got Ian Wright out here, shouldn't be feeling sorry for him. You get me? So you know what happens, isn't it? That's what happens when you open your mouth when there's no need to open your mouth. This is the problem. So deal with the consequences. You get me? That's what I want.
Just to add some context, is I don't actually think it was random. That's the thing. I don't think it was random. She's basically on a radio show and she got asked a question sort of regarding the presence of male pundits within the women's game. And I think someone mentioned when having that conversation, Ian Wright's name was brought up as to how the comments then came out. I don't think it was just a random attack.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not a random attack, but it is random because if somebody asked you Ian Wright's presence, if you felt that it wasn't a problem, you wouldn't have said that. Your response would have been, yeah, he's a massive pioneer for the game. We love Ian Wright on our show because he brings attention to the women's game, and that would have been your thought process if that was your thought process. The fact that she said he needs to be careful not to hog the limelight means that's what she thinks. She said what she thought, isn't it? That was her response to the question. Yeah. So it doesn't really make a difference if she's asked the question or says it randomly. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, she ain't got a gun to her head to say what she's not saying. She said it. She said it live on air. She said the words. So yeah, bruv, listen, that's her thing. She got to live with the consequences now, innit? You try to shoot for the God. And this is what happens. This is what happens in real world, bro. You try to. This is the what's it called? What's the word? I can't remember. What's it called? This is the thing what people do in it. They try to shoot for the top person, and this is the consequence. You either shoot and score, and now you're elevated to another level, or you shoot and miss, and now you go to the waist. And that's the risk you took. And this is what's going on now, man. So. That's how I see it. Whether it was random or it wasn't random, or it was calculated, it weren't calculated. You could have said it. You could have said anything else but that what you said. So you know what you're doing. You're a big woman. You've been on telly. You've been telly long enough to know to be media trained. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, there is no excuse, I suppose, at the end of the day. Just my thoughts is when I looked at it a bit more after last week and I saw that it wasn't such a random, I thought maybe, like, let's be honest, because the way that it come about in a radio show, put two black people against each other, I don't know, maybe it seems manufactured from a higher level. It could be because, and you mentioned Ian Wright's name whilst Eni Eluko was there. We already know that she's quite controversial as it is with some of her statements. It's just pinning two people against each other that doesn't really need to be, but she hasn't helped herself in this situation. Ultimately, you guys are right with that. But look, people, this has been another welcomed episode of the Soccer PM podcast. Again, just so you guys are reminded, make sure you follow all of the social platforms in the banner below. But if you are just listening in, it's Fam Zone TV for D and Dean, Half-Time Hooks for Hooks, and Do-Rag Diaries for myself, Jords. Until next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Be there. We'll be back.